Hi everyone, it's Diane. This is a Stashistry episode because I want to use some of my stash of map pages that came out of books. Some are textbooks, history books, atlases, and municipal books. I love those blue maps. So I have got all kinds of map pages. So I don't know exactly. I mean, you can always make tags out of stuff, right? Let me turn this a little bit. So I'm going to start with tags. And these pages came out of a really old book that's quite brittle. So I would not be able to use them for a pocket, but I can glue them onto tags. So I think that's what we'll start with. Just going to get a book for gluing on. Let's see. I do have my distress ink here. So I'm just going to distress the edges of this tag. This is just an alterations tag that I have in my stash, which I am running low on. I might have to buy some more. In which case I would probably put some in my shop again. This one was actually coffee dyed. It's different. This is an inventory tag. This one has a perforation up here, and this one has a perforation down here. I'm gonna actually separate that. And just make little embellishments with it. This page tears so easily because it's so brittle. I don't want to completely cover the tag. So I mentioned on yesterday's video that I'd be going to a women's conference today. Today's Saturday, by the way, although you'll be seeing this on Sunday. So I did that Friday night and today. Got home just a little bit before 5 o'clock today. And it was a very nice conference. The workshops, one of the workshops in particular that I went to had some things in it that I needed to hear. And I'm tired I'm tired, so I can't even think of what was said there. That I have notes written down. So I'll go over my notes tomorrow and read the scriptures and kind of reinforce what I learned or relearned. You know, sometimes we know things, but we have to be reminded of things. So this could be a little tuck spot on a page, or I don't know. You could use it as a tag. You just use it as an embellishment. Like put something in the hole there. I think it needs a little bit more, so I'm going to look in my little box here. It's too big. Like I said, I want to leave some of that tag showing. I think this is a sticker. Yep, it's a sticker. I wasn't sure if it was a clear one, but it's not, so I'm going to ink this. I don't know if the ink will stay on it because it's shiny. It'll probably rub right off. Let's put it right side up. Where's the 12? Now, what would I do with this little piece? I could put a little piece of map on it. Take the British Isles. I like the red numbers on this claim ticket. See, just inking it cracks the paper. So we're going to glue it down securely. This doesn't have anything to do with maps or anything. It's just a little red sticker that I like for ephemera piece. Oh, look at, there's a little flag. That's cute. That's appropriate. You can always use pointing hands on things, right? So I'm using some stash of die cuts too. And I'll just tuck these in my container of ephemera pieces so that they're all ready to be used in a journal. Okay, now let's take the coffee dyed one, and we'll just leave this one whole. Need one taller than that. We went to the conference yesterday, like I said, and the first session started at 6 p.m. So we had one main session, and our speaker was the adopted daughter of Pearl S. Buck. And if you don't know who she is, you can Google her. She's a famous author who won a Pulitzer Prize. She grew up in China with American parents, but they were Chinese missionaries to China. So that's where Pearl grew up, and she wrote books about China and won a Pulitzer for her book, The Good Earth. And anyway, she's famous. Anyway, this speaker, I met her before because I had invited her to come speak at our church when I had a ladies event at my church, and so I got to meet her then and heard her awesome story. She is from Korea, and she ended up, through a long story that I'm not going to relate, she ended up being adopted by Pearl S. Buck when she was a young teenager. So it was a really, really interesting story of how God worked in her life. And then we had one session, one workshop that we broke out into whatever workshop you wanted to go to. There were, I don't know how many options there were, but you could choose 3 because you would have 3 opportunities for workshops between the 2 days. So my daughter chose 3. This was her first chance to ever go to one of these conferences. She chose 3 workshops, and out of those 3, not a single one of them was offered last night. So she just went to the workshop that I went to, and that ended up being the one that really spoke to me the most. It was about if only, and I do that a lot. If only this was different, or if only that hadn't happened, or things like that. And about our fears, where we say, what if this happens, or what if this doesn't happen, or what if I make the wrong decision, and all that stuff. And it's about trusting God. So that was a good workshop. And we didn't get home till 9:30, a little after 9:30. Then we had to leave here by 8 o'clock this morning to be up there by 9 for today's work. See, this is how they look. I think they're cute. I like them. I'm not particularly fond of this kind of squarish shape. So let's see if I can do something to detract from that. I was hoping that these would detract from it, but not enough. No, I'm just going to leave it. It's fine. What else can we do? I have this red folder that I got at Salvation Army for 19 cents. I'm going to cut it into a rectangle that we can use as a pocket in a future journal. So I'm going to trim off the fold. I'm going to cut it at 3.5 inches, and then let's do 4.5. That might be a little deeper than we need. Let's do 3 inches. What did I say this was? 4.5. And I have a piece of coffee dyed file folder. It's torn. I think I'm going to leave that. We'll use that torn edge. And I like the tab on this, so I'm going to use that one also. I'm cutting that one at 5, just to make so the tab didn't end so abruptly. Okay, I think we have enough pieces to work with now. Let's try a different type of map this time. Set these pieces aside. I really love these. I don't want to tear them. This would make a great page, actually. I think I might have to preserve that. But I was wondering what I could do with those, like cut those out and fold it in half and make it into a little semicircle booklet. That would be cool, but probably have to use my Cricut for that, maybe, to cut the pages round. But I don't use lightweight paper usually on my Cricut because it would stick too much to the mat. Well, we'll just set that aside until we know what we want to do with it. Now this folder has the, what do you call them? Score marks there. And I'm going to leave them there. So I want to find some map that has some red in it. This blue one has red on the lines, so we'll use some of that. I'm not sure if I want to cut it straight or tear it. Not sure what I want to do here. I need to buy a new ink pad. I didn't have that ruler straight. And it's still not straight. It's okay. Now, I want to do something cool at the top. So I think I'm going to put some eyelets on it. Some people use the Big Shot or the Big Bite or Crocodile. I don't know, can you use a Crocodile for that? Anyway, I have a Big Bite that I can put the eyelets in there with, but I don't have great luck with it. So I'm going to use this. So I'm going to kind of mark out where I want to put the eyelets. So I'm going to find the center. And then do 1.5 inches out on each side. And there's the two score lines, so that'll help me line up and down wise, vertically, where I want to put the holes. Okay, now I'm set. I've got this little piece of metal because it doesn't, I don't want to damage my table or my mat. I'm going to put a hole in it. Then I'll put the eyelet in the hole. And use this tool to flatten it. So there's the eyelet, and there's the back of it. Things back where I got them so that I can find them when I'm looking for them again. What does that say? Oh. Regulator Almanac Memoranda. Just a little tiny red circle. It says enclosure. Then I'll have this all ready to go into a journal, and if I want to, I can add a bulb pin to one of those eyelets and hang a charm off it. But I don't have to do that right away. There's that one. That's kind of fun with those eyelets on there, isn't it? So we have a tag, a tuck spot, pocket, embellishment, that's a cool page too, isn't it? All right, let's try playing around with this. I have an idea that doesn't require cutting circle paper for inside, but I do want to make a booklet out of this. So I'm going to get out some coffee dyed paper. Wonder how this fits on there. Just going to take several sheets of coffee dyed paper. I'm going to take this one and put it on the inside. Alright, so I am going to glue this to cover it. There's my gluey book. There it is. And just glue it down there. This might have been a free sheet of paper that I received with my order of coffee dyed paper. I know one of them sent me some free sheets, and I don't remember doing anything like this. So I'm not exactly sure what it's dyed with, but it looks pretty cool on the globe, don't you think? Then after that dries, I'll fold that in half again. Now for these, this circle measures 6 1/4 inches. So I'm going to take these papers, I'll take 3 of them. Put some things away here so I have room to operate. I'm going to cut these papers down to 6 1/4. And fold them in half. That's way bigger than I needed. Just gonna mark out where this circle is. And I'm going to tear. Do one at a time. So I can have some roughly torn pages for this little booklet. I mean, I could have just cut around the circle that I had traced, but I like the idea of the rough torn edges. One more. Then I can sew that in there. I think I'd like to sew it by hand actually and have some threads hanging off it. Just getting a needle. Try to find a needle that will work. Kids are being noisy outside. Sounds like teenagers out there. I don't know if you can hear them. I'm not going to measure holes or anything. I'm just going to sew. Not sure where I want to start. Guess I'll just start here. Actually, I think I'm going to have the strings on the outside. And I'm just going to use 3 holes. Go past this one and go way down here. Haven't done a 3-hole punch in a long time. I usually use 5 holes. And then back up here. Just going to tie some knots in the ends of the baker's twine so it doesn't untwine. There. There's a little booklet that can go into a journal pocket. That's pretty cool. So I might stamp a little something in there before I use it. I have some cool stamps that might be nice to stamp in there. And maybe put a label or something on there, but I can put it in my collection and have it ready. One more thing I want to try, and that is with one of these bags. I've got these glassine bags that my mother, that one's torn. My mother used to use these when she sold stuff at craft shows. She gave me a bunch of them. And I don't care for the bow on them. So I'm going to cover that bow up with a piece of map. Some of these that I want to use as pages, I don't want to ruin. One of those round ones might be nice. I can make tuck spots out of those round globes. This just has an index from an atlas. Oh, that whole page is an index. What else can we use? There's a key, some sort of a map key. They're fun. And how about a flag? Just put a flag on there. The flag of West Germany. I don't know if it's still the flag of West Germany. This is an old atlas. Yeah, I'm not liking those. So, I think I'll take a scrap of the coffee dyed paper that we just tore up. I'll just take a scrap of that and probably stamp something on it. And put it there. Well, let me see my stamps. This stamp says Wanderlust. That's perfect for a map. Vagabond Society. Let's do Vagabond Society. That's cool. But I want something else on the background. If all else fails, you can use a script stamp. I wasn't intending to do any stamping today. let's just stamp that and see how it looks. Not sure. Maybe if I stamp it on this, I'll like it better. That's better. Okay, I'm going to do a little inking and a little gluing, and then we'll be done. And I'm almost at an hour, so I've got to hurry. I think that edge is going to be covered. I don't know why I'm inking over there. I guess I just need a fresher pad so that I can work with it the way I want to. I guess I'm going to have to go to the craft stores, but I have a very busy week ahead of me. Watching my grandkids and working. Yeah. I feel like I need a little bit of color up there somewhere. Let's just stick this little scrap in there. Yes, that's what it needed. Okay, time to glue so I can say goodbye. A little crooked. I'm wondering if you can hear those kids outside. I think they're across the road from me, hanging out on the corner, making a lot of noise. Just kind of yelling, you know, talking to each other in loud voices. It was homecoming weekend. There was a parade. I live on Main Street, so there was a homecoming parade Friday night, Thursday night, up my street. So I went, sat out on the porch and watched a little bit of it. And the game was last night. I don't know who won. Well, that looks kind of cute, doesn't it? I'm still thinking it needs something up here. Why am I not satisfied? I think that helps a little. Maybe I put the globe down further than I had it laid out. Just looks like there's a lot of empty space up there. I'm going to call it good. All right, so what did we do today? We did this and this and this, which I will add things to the holes here, and this. I love this one. And this little booklet, which is fun, and this bag. Tell me which your favorites were. I think my favorites are these two. Well, thank you for watching, and I will be seeing you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.